Okay, so when we're talking about the future, which we do, and we in the Western culture have a tendency to talk a lot about, especially like in the high schools. What are you going to do for the future? What are you going to do over the weekend? And in the Alaska Native cultures, lots of times this is frowned upon, because how presumptuous of you to even know what the future holds. So lots of times they do not speak about the future. Or if you're going to go hunting and you're going to go kill a moose or something, and then how presumptuous of you to talk about that you are going to take that animal's life, and it can also impede your hunting ability. Okay, competition and conflict. The Alaska Native cultures are generally frowned upon as for competition, competing against each other, and conflict is tries to be avoided. Okay, when you get to know someone, as I spoke earlier about, you might just sit there. And then we in the Western culture will generally bombard the person with questions. Well, where are you from? Are you married? How many children do you have? What's their names? Where'd you go to school? And so that's frowned upon. Generally when they in that video I watched on Talking Alaska, lots of times they'll just kind of sit and then they'll talk naturally. They won't bombard the person with questions. They'll just start a conversation about something. Okay, and so then volume. This is a big one for me as my hearing goes, and my son speaks very quietly. In a way that can be really nice, but in a way it's like, what did you say? What did you say? And also at the school, I have to remember, keep in mind that they are doing this as part of their culture, as not to speak so loudly, and not because they want you to strain your ears. So it's really important there. Child rearing, it's very common, again, this is going from the school perspective, is that we as teachers might think, oh, this person, they don't even care about their kids, they're just pawning them off over here, over there, or this family must be dysfunctional because they're now staying with their aunt. And this is really common, especially so in the bush, a little bit less common in the urban areas just because of the distances. So don't think negative if a family member is now they're staying with their aunt for a while or their grandparents or something. Okay, and the last point on this slide is eye contact. And lots of times you think in eye contact in the Western culture, sometimes if they're avoiding eye contact, one of the research papers said that we kind of have a tendency to view that they're lying. If kids avoid eye contact with me in the school setting, I lots of times feel like they're not paying any attention to me, or they're not hearing what I'm saying, or they're distracted. So I like eye contact, and we have to remember that in the Alaska Native cultures, lots of times this is viewed on as disrespectful, and it's a sign of respect to avoid eye contact. So lots of times I'll have the student, even with my own son, I won't make him stare at me all the time, but I try to get them to at least position their body so that their back is not towards me. And so we don't want to demand eye contact. Okay, and here's just some different slide. I'm running out of time now, so I won't really go into this, but this is a slide of, again, showing a lot of the body language things. Again, there is that last one, that's that eye contact. Okay, and here's an example of somebody saying yes. Notice the eyebrows are raised, and that would be a yes, and this might be a sign of no, where the nose is wrinkled and the eyebrows are down. Okay, here's some of the non-native and the native, just different things. And again, I think the big thing is we value conversation, and they value observation as a way to get to know people, and that was a big thing. And also, a lot of times we like closure, a lot of times we'll say goodbye, and a lot of times Alaska Native people will just get up and leave. It's like, why should they say goodbye? Obviously, can't you say I'm leaving? So it's just a little bit different there. And again, children, we always encourage people to learn by trial and error. And the natives, lots of times, we want the children that they listen and learn. They don't answer questions or demonstrate unless they know the answer or are apt at the skill. So again, we value, like, just keep on trying, and Alaska Native cultures value just not trying until the person is going to be successful. Okay, and here's a slide that talks about specifically, this was done with Athabascans, how they view us and how maybe we, a lot of the stereotypes that we attribute to Athabascans in the one column. Okay, so let's go on. Again, speakers of Athabascan. Oh, I think I put that slide in there 2 times. Let's go on to the next one. Inupiat. Okay, again, we value ownership, and they value sharing. And I was thinking in the school setting, you might see this, and somebody maybe just takes a pencil, and you think you're stealing. And again, we just have to be not so quick to jump to that, and it might be just a sign of sharing. Go on to the next one. Here's just some etiquettes that we need to be aware of in the when we go and we're in contact with the other culture. And here's another one about some things we don't want to do. Okay, well, that was my presentation. I'm going to put it on pause one more time.